Hello YouTube, I'm here with Mr. Motivator, Holocaust survivor, cancer survivor, and overall positive person, Mr. Jacques Wiesel. Jacques, thanks for...
Look forward to it. So much new information. Every time I turn around and do more research, I was up till 4 a.m. writing, putting together my 5 lectures that I do and bringing them up to date. I put in 50 hours recently to bring them up to date. That's $10, 10 hours per presentation. So they're heavily loaded with facts and information now because I never stop research. And this morning I found again something else very interesting in Time magazine, review of new books. And in there it talks about the power of bad, the effect of negativity against positivity. Negativity is 4 times as powerful as positivity. And I teach positive living, it's one of the things. And I don't teach to eliminate the negative. You can't quite go and erase it. I teach to use more positivity to weaken the negativity side of a person's life. So that, you have a choice to make. When you wake up in the morning, you could go one of 2 ways. You can say, "Good Lord," or you could say, "Good morning, Lord," one way or the other. And your attitude will determine your altitude for that particular day. This is true in selling. This is true in a mother dealing with her children. This is true with a husband and wife team. Morning first things determine a lot of what your day is going to be like. So I always recommend begin the day on a high note, the morning. Find something nice. So I greet my wife every day. I say, "Good morning, honey. I love you." Give her a kiss, and we get started. We get started with breakfast anyway. So anyhow, the stuff that's coming out is unbelievable. This gentleman, Kobe Bryant, and we all heard about what just happened to him. And I noticed, thankfully, nobody has said, "Why did God do that to such a good man and a wonderful daughter?" Nobody has said it. And then you take a look at Harold Kushner's book that came out 20 years ago. He's got the new edition, 20th anniversary now, how bad things happen to good people. And he explains it permanently, get it out of our system, that we don't learn to depend on some ethereal figure out there, male figure that is in charge of the universe, which is not so. It says, if it is to be, it is up to me. That's the bottom line of the message. And he says that the only thing that God gave us was the ability the strength from within to spring out of any negative situation and turn around our lives. And this is what I've been doing every step of my life without knowing that was what was pushing me. That inside drive to succeed, not to be like others, etc. So we come along now, and they say to me, "Well, how could you do that? You drive German cars, for example. You've been driving Mercedes and Volkswagens most of your life." I said, "That's no problem. First of all, everything that happened in the Holocaust happened 75 years ago." I said, "I can't run around and blame today's people for 75 years ago." I said, "Secondly, if you take a close look at the bottom of the Mercedes, it'll say in bold letters, made by U.S. bombs. Okay? Smile at this point. Smile. It's okay." That's my attitude towards that. So today's people, I'm not saying necessarily better. Germany's still having a lot of neo-Nazism problems there. But the Prime Minister Merkel is trying to fix it to the best of her ability, which I don't know if it's good enough to overcome the negativity out there. So the problems are still there. We have the rest of the world with problems all the time. I cannot be concerned about it. I must be concerned about what's happening around me, my family, my social circus, my country, and then the world eventually. And I include this strength that keeps coming out from the inside to keep me going all the time. That's basically my new philosophy. Very happy with it. I'm going to be 88 years young. That's like a piano key, and I'm playing the tunes of my life right now.
So what do you think, is that a habit to start something positive every morning? Do you do that every morning, and how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for a good part of my life. Look at the positive at the beginning instead of not good Lord, no, good Lord, good morning, Lord, instead of, oh Lord, good morning, you know. I've been doing that for a long time. Excuse me. One of the things about it is it triggers off all of the enzymes and the endocrines, your whole system, your psychological and emotional system go to work in that direction from that point on. And you take the negatives and push them away. I have one thing that I do in my training classes and in my lectures always. The most powerful tool that I made up years ago, and it works beautifully. We all have angers, hatreds, disappointments, frustration. Anytime anything negative happens, or if I say a dirty word, for example, I immediately go like this, delete. I learned from the computers. You delete things right off your mind. So guess what? The mind follows directions. So if I say delete, the mind will delete it. And you do it enough time, 3 weeks, by the way, according to Dr. Maxwell Maltz, who wrote a great book, Psychocybernetics, that the mind is like a computer. And it says in there 3 weeks to change a habit of thought, a bad habit. So you try it for 3 weeks. Every time you do or say anything wrong or hear anything negative, just delete. Delete. Like press the button, delete, delete. And guess what? In 3 or 4 weeks from then, you won't have to do it anymore. Less and less of the negativity will creep up into your language and into your mind.
So what would you say to someone who's maybe going through a sickness or in pain and having difficulty in trying to find the positive in the first thing in the morning when they're waking up with pain?
Well,
what would you say to someone? Because I know you've experienced that. And you were able to
yeah, I've had my share. Mm-hmm. No, the first thing to do then is to try to remember the last happy experience you had. Like last night, maybe we had a good dinner, so that makes me smile. Then I smile at the conversation we had last night. I smile again, and you build up a positivity. When you get up, you say, yesterday was a nice day. Let's see if today can be better than yesterday. This is my philosophy now. May today be better than yesterday, but not as good as tomorrow. Think about that.
Okay. So basically, if you're waking up and you have pain or you have something that you're upset about or that's making you sad, think of the last time you felt good. Think of the last time you felt happy and focus on that. Is that what you're saying?
That's one thing. Another thing is to focus on the pain and concentrate on making it go away. The human mind has incredible healing powers, incredible. According to the National Institute of Health and all of the research on cancer, 9 out of 10 research on cancer is psychosomatically self-induced. That means 90% we can get rid of. Okay, so this is all very exciting stuff to me all the time. And I walk around and I see these women unhappy at the groups I speak to, and they're just waiting for death to happen, and that's ridiculous. There are 340,000 centenarians in the world now, over 100 years old. We may have 30 or 40,000, I don't know. They're doing something right, and you know what that is? They're forgetting doctors, they're going into herbs, the old-fashioned medicines that have been around for 4,000 years. It's unbelievable. I just got over a terrible disease that could have led to death, cellulitis of the legs. For 3 years, the doctors tried with every gook and garbage to fix it, couldn't fix it. I went into National Institute of Health. They told me, don't read even this article. Get out there and order Genugreek, an old powder. 3 weeks later now, I'm almost completely cured. Unbelievable. So you gotta be, not be afraid to navigate through what's going on out there. Look at the old-fashioned remedies that we laugh at, and look at what the doctor, if they're really getting results with you, or they're getting rich on your money, which I don't like. So I fight tooth and nail with my doctor. I need explanations, or I move to another. I'm not afraid to fire. I fired 3 doctors when I had my cancer, but eventually I got one that took care of it for me. So that's it. It's all up to you. If it is to be, it is up to me. So when bad things happen to good people, as a good person, take a look at it and say, how can I fix it and not have it happen again?
That's excellent. Is there anything you'd like to close and finish up with and let the people know?
Well, they can reach me by phone. I work in high schools with the high school students. The senior groups love my material. I work with retirement homes. The old elderly people need the information so they can live to be 100 plus. There's no difficult thing about it. I speak at sales training. I was #1 in 4 international companies, beating out 14,000 salespeople, so I know how to close. And I do sales management training, supervisory skills, and anything attached to that. I worked for Dun & Bradstreet, I worked for the American Management Association, and I work for myself.
Excellent.